Let's talk about certificate management, and the very first subject here would be certificate renewal. Now, there are two ways to renew a certificate. You can either do so by using the existing key. This scenario will be referred to as the key renewal, or you can decide to generate an entirely new key, in which case the certificate is being rekeyed. So keep those two terms in mind. But what about expiration? Now, certificates obviously don't last forever. They do have a validity period. However, that validity will depend on the certificate authority policy. So as an example, you could have a root certificate having a 10-year expiry date, while a server certificate might be issued for just 1 year. Speaking of expiration, when a certificate expires, the key pair representing it can either be archived or destroyed. Now, destroying the key would offer more security, obviously. However, the drawback here is that any data that was encrypted with that key pair will no longer be readable. We also have certificate revocation lists. Now, a certificate might either be revoked or suspended. There is a difference though. When a certificate has been revoked, it is no longer valid and cannot be reinstated. Think of it as like a permanent ban, a lifetime ban. A suspended certificate, on the other hand, can be re-enabled. However, why would a certificate be revoked or be suspended? Well, it's typically for security reasons, such as private key compromise, business closure, or maybe a user has left the company. Now, here are reasons that are typically codified. It could be unspecified, key compromise, certificate authority compromise, superseded, or maybe cessation of operation. Keep this in mind, please. A suspended key is given the code certificate hold. All right. Now, let's take a look at this example right here on the right. You can see the certificate revocation list. We have the serial number right there, the revocation date, and then you can see the reason code is number 5, cessation of operation. So certificate authorities must maintain a certificate revocation list CRL of all revoked and suspended certificates. Now, a certificate revocation list has the following attributes. It's going to have the publish period, the distribution points, validity period, and then the signature. However, with this system of the CRL, there is a risk that even though a certificate has already been revoked, it might still be accepted by clients because the updated certificate revocation list has not yet been published. However, there is a way to mitigate this issue, and this is where online certificate status protocol responders comes into play. See, another means of providing up-to-date information is to check the actual status of that certificate on something known as an online certificate status protocol, the OCSP server, and this is referred to as an OCSP responder. So most of these OCSP servers, they can query the certificate database directly and obtain the real-time status of a certificate. We also have something known as certificate pinning. But what exactly is this? See, whenever certificates are used by a transport protocol, there is always that possibility that the chain of trust among the client, the server, and even the root CA has provided compromised certificates. So pinning refers to the different ways how we can ensure that when a client is inspecting the certificate presented by a server, he is in fact inspecting the proper certificate. Now, how does this work? Well, it can be achieved by simply embedding the certificate data in the application code, or we can do so by submitting one or more public keys to an HTTP browser via the HTTP header. And this is what is referred to as the HTTP public key pinning, HPKP. Unfortunately, though, it's been discovered that HPKP does have some serious vulnerabilities and has, in fact, been replaced by the certificate transparency framework. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you in the next class.